Race 1 in Rally Trinidad 2014. We're on.
Rally Trinidad
2014, and you are watching
Race 1.
Trinidad and Tobago. This twin island republic with a land area of about 1,980 square miles is nestled on the edge of the Caribbean island chain. And for the next 3 days it would play host to an array of weapons of speed which had gathered for the 10th anniversary of Rally Trinidad. In 2014, the rally organized by the Trinidad and Tobago Rally Club was to be contested over 24 special stages covering approximately 156 competitive stage kilometers. Competitors from Jamaica, Barbados, Suriname, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Ireland and host Trinidad headed to the just over 1 kilometer long super special tarmac stage at the Hazley Crawford Stadium on Friday evening. This venue would be the location for the first 2 stages of the rally before the much longer gravel stages were due to start the following day. The drivers were ready to go.
Christian Bourne, we're here at Rally Trinidad 2014. What are your expectations?
Expectations, boy, this is our third and a half year of rallying, and we've been through a lot. And this year we think we have the cleanest car and the best prepared car that we've had. Expectations, as long as the equipment stands up, we are looking to be in the top 4 or 5.
Hi, Ms. Gopal. How are you feeling?
I'm great.
What are your expectations for this weekend?
To have a blast. Rally Trinidad is what we wait for every year.
2014 Rally Trinidad, Mike Fennell from Jamaica. Who are you navigating for, co-driving for?
Not for Jeffrey Panton. We had a slight motor issue, so we're not able to defend this year. But I was asked at the last minute to sit in a Ford. So I'm here to co-drive for Frank Kelly in his Mark II Escort.
Frank Kelly, Mark II Escort here in Trinidad. What are your expectations?
To go round and round in circles as much as possible. We're looking to get through tonight, do nothing stupid and have fun on the gravel stages tomorrow. We've had a really good recce. Michael's done a great job on the recce for me, and I have no reason to believe that he'll not do a great job in the rally. So as long as I don't do anything stupid, we're flying.
Why come to Trinidad?
Listen, there's an opportunity I couldn't miss. Robbie has been on to me for 3 years to come here, and I eventually gave in, and I'm so glad I did. I'm wondering why it took me so long.
I've been battling with a few gremlins for the start, but I just want to get on that first stage on Saturday and forget about the expectations, you know. The gearbox didn't have any hydraulic pressure, so I wasn't able to shift, and that's a big pain. So I think it looks okay. Fingers crossed now that that everything is okay and we've rectified the issue. You know, just nervous about getting the first stage out of the way. This little super special thing.
Since Rally Jamaica, we were doing really well in Jamaica. We had a meltdown on the engine. You know, we destroyed another engine subsequently after that. We found the problem, so we run in pretty much in standard mode for this rally, but it's a long rally, the attrition rate is high. We're just going to have fun, you know, show for the sponsors and have a fantastic rally.
We spent some time this week doing the recce and we're as ready as can be. And I'm just looking to go and have some fun and get to the end on Sunday evening.
How do the stages look?
Really good, very challenging, and some of them are kind of rough, but it'll be all right. Looking forward to it.
The car is back. How does the car feel?
Car feels good, so we'll see how it goes.
All the best.
Yeah, man.
Paul is a bit of an unknown commodity. He didn't drive here last year, so I don't really know how fast he's going to be. I'm feeling good in myself. I'm pretty confident. The car is 100%, so you know we're going to give it a go. We're going to be flat out for any word, go for any start, and that's it. That's the plan.
Look at the stages. How do they look?
The stages are real good. Awesome as usual. Maybe a little rougher than they were last year. Maybe a little looser. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
All the best.
Thanks.
The defense of the home turf was made virtually impossible, with hometown favorite John Penty Powell unable to contest the event due to an injury sustained outside the sport. However, like the true showman that he is, Howell gave the crowd a taste of what could have been if he was fit to go.
Mr. Powell is not going to be left out. Cheese and rice. On your feet, clap your hands, make some noise for Mr. John Powell, who I believe may be possibly buying this car for the 2015 championship.
Also unable to contest the entire rally, Zach Waddell ensured that he was present for the opening Super Special stage with his Locust motorcycle engine-powered pit car. The competitors were run in reverse order, with the slower cars being sent off the line first. Ryan Perot in his Suzuki Swift posted the 6th fastest time on the opening stage, but fell off to 9th in the second. Ireland's Frank Kelly with Jamaican co-driver Michael Fennell Jr. were an instant hit with the Trinidadian fans. Kelly in his Ford Escort Mark II, which is affectionately called Baby Blue, was inside the top 10 times on stage 1, but it was his sideways style that got the crowd cheering. Trinidad's Gobin Mahadio added about 5 seconds to his time with this spin out.
Again, Harold racing every one of the Rally Trinidad events. Make some noise for this guy.
Harold Morley has become a regular hit at Rally Trinidad, and in his Group N Subaru Impreza, he was just outside the overall top 10 times at the end of day 1.
Craig just losing a little control there, but he's managed to get back in.
Craig Sumir having to use some quick hands to avoid hitting anything, and his evasive actions cost him about 8 seconds. He was 3rd in Group N at the end of day 1.
So the naked eye looks a little out of control, but believe me, they are very, very, very in control. So make some noise for a great save. A very, very good save. Craig finishes up his run.
Trinidad, Stuart Johnson was always expected to be at the sharp end of Group N and close in the overall fight. However, he found himself trailing the Group N leader, Harold Morley, at the end of day 1.
Stuart Johnson leaping out in an S. John Powell Subaru. Taking the John Powell route through the mountain.
St. Vincent and the Grenadine Steve Oliver did not get off to a very good start, stalling the car on the very first corner of the stage.
Here comes Mr. Credo.
Trinidad's Dave Coelho got off to a great start, sitting in 3rd in Group A after the first 2 stages.
Car looks really, really good. Very, very neat and tidy. He's definitely going to be...
Also looking to make his mark on Group A was Christian Bourne, who was 2nd in the group after 2 blistering stages. Leading Group A on day 1 was Barbados' James Betts, who posted the fastest times in the group in all 2 runs in the stadium.
Let's hear it for James Betts and Jeffrey Gordon. Make some noise, people!
Barbados' Dean Serow was eager to get a taste of action. However, before the start of the Super Special, Serow looked a bit worried as another mechanical gremlin had crept up, but he managed to hold on to 5th at the end of the Friday night stages. Barbados' Paul Bourne was making his return to Rally Trinidad after a few years away. he had to get a last-minute replacement for a co-driver in Sean Abed. A previous champion in the rally, Bourne was locked in a tight battle with fellow countryman Neil Armstrong for the top honors on day one. Such was the pace being set by these two front runners that the first stage time separated them by a mere tenth of a second. Barbados occupied the top group with 3 World Rally cars. Neil Armstrong and Barry Ward, after a strong showing last year when they finished second, were tipped as favorites in this year's rally, with the defending champion Jamaica's Jeffrey Panton unable to make it due to engine problems. Armstrong held the advantage after the first stage, and after another close time in stage 2, it was Bourne who held a slight edge before the crews traveled to the gravel stages the next day.
Neil definitely is going to be close to that time, if not beating it. Make some noise, Neil Armstrong, Barry Ward, Simpson Motors, Lifestyle Motors. Wow!
Day 2 was slated to be the longest and hardest test of the 3 days as the action moved from Port of Spain to the south of the island for 10 stages which covered 103 competitive stage kilometers. The true test begins now with 2 stage venues, the first of which is the 11.3 kilometer long Bronte, and that is to be followed by the 9.5 kilometer long Cedar Hill stage. Despite earning the right to choose his road position on the second as the leading WRC competitor after day 1, Barbados' Paul Bourne selected to be first on the road, and as such, he was effectively the road sweeper for the rest to come, who will have a cleaner line to drive. In his Ford Focus WRC, Bourne found himself struggling not only with the grip level as the first car on the road, but also a lack of confidence in his pace notes. He was 5th overall in stage 3 and over 30 seconds slower than the stage winner. Barbados' Neil Armstrong was piloting the Suzuki SX4 like a laser-guided missile through the stages. With the request for power by his right foot and the confidence in the notes being called out by his co-driver Barry Ward, Armstrong set the fastest time on stage 3. He returned on the second loop to once again post the fastest time and to make it a hat-trick of stage victories on the Bronte stage. He was again the fastest through on stage 7. The Bajan pair went from being second at the start of day 2 to building their advantage at the front by 50 seconds on the Bronte stages. Barbados' Dean Thoreau would have been happy that he was able to start day 2 of the rally. However, all was not well with the S9 Subaru Impreza WRC. As he was making his way through the first day of stage 2, Thoreau found himself in the unfortunate position of being the first casualty of the day as well. The Bajan woes would continue as James Betts, who had been favored to be hot on the heels of the WRC front-runners in his Group A evolution, was showing evidence on the left side front bumper of his heavy incident earlier in the stage. Despite his best efforts to continue, he would eventually have to stop. With the Group A title up for grabs with the demise of Betts, Trinidad's Christian Bourne had set the second fastest time in Group A on stage 3, which was one of the times faster than Paul Bourne. St. Vincent's Steve Oliver found himself taking loads of time and was almost 2 minutes slower than the Group A Stage 3 winner. Trinidad's David Coelho was the one to beat after Betts' early retirement. Coelho set a blistering time on Stage 3, which propelled him to second overall behind Neil Armstrong. He never made it back for the second loop, and here he explains just why.
We destroyed our center diff unexpected days, so when we had no control over and we didn't expect, so that was it. One of those things we couldn't fix.
You have a spare?
No spare.
Stuart Johnson inherited a few positions, but do not be mistaken. Though he may have inherited a position or two, he was turning in a very impressive performance in his Group N Subaru, which had earned him second overall in the rally. The father and daughter pair of Peter and Hannah Morris were trading times with Steve Oliver early, but a strong Stage 7 put Morris firmly ahead of the visitors. Trinidad's Gobin Mahadio was in a battle for second place of Group A. With every passing corner, Irishman Frank Kelly was gaining more and more fans in Trinidad. His flamboyant style of driving winning the hearts of all who braved the weather to witness the rally unfold.